Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share with you how to lose weight without exercise. In case you're wondering, yes, it's possible. I have done it and you can also do it. So let's get into this video. First of all, before I get to the main topic, I want you... Can these people stop with the noise? First of all, I want you to find your reason why. I need you to find your why. Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to do this? Is it for you? Is it for external validation? Is it to please people? Is it because you have been body shamed? I want you to find your why, because it's going to be paramount to the results that you're going to achieve in the course of your weight loss journey. Okay, so I'm going to tell you my reason why at the end of this video, because I don't want you your answer or your reason why to be based off of what my reason is. Okay, anyway, how I got to achieve weight loss without working out is because I actually hate sweating. It's not because I'm lazy or because I don't want to work out, but I hate sweating. Okay, so I find it difficult to keep up with an exercise routine. I find it difficult to keep up with going to the gym or even working out at home. I just find it difficult to keep up because every time I get into it and I sweat that much, God, I feel so sad and depressed. It's like I feel like I'm suffering. It reminds me of poverty. I just hate sweating. Intentionally sweating, I really hate it. It's not my thing at all. Whenever I would walk out, when I'm in the bathroom, I would just be crying. I used to cry in the shower and just ask God, like, why? Like, why am I not one of your favorites? I know people that don't have to work out to keep fit. They just have it, you know, but I don't have it, and I wish I had it, because now I just feel so sad having to sweat this much and having to do this much to look how I want to look. Like, it was really depressing for me. So that's how I got on this route of looking for solutions to lose weight without working out. Now, in the beginning of my weight loss journey, yeah, I realized that in 2020, I realized that I was overweight, right? Now, prior to being overweight, I've been managing a respiratory disorder for years now. I say manage because there's no permanent cure, or maybe I'm not aware of it, but there's no permanent cure for what I'm living with, for the respiratory disorder that I'm living with. There's no permanent cure. Surgery is an option, but that doesn't even guarantee that you won't still have to suffer the same thing. Like, you can have surgery and you still have to manage some symptoms still. So to me, it doesn't make any sense. So until I receive healing from the Lord, I am going to manage the situation. It's not fatal, right? So I don't see the need to have surgery, to be honest. So anyway, in 2020, I realized that I was overweight, and then the pandemic hit and lockdown came. So to manage my weight, I started walking. So I would walk for an average of 45 minutes a day, almost every day. And with that, I saw a significant change in my weight. I lost about 8 kg in 6 weeks or 8 weeks. I can't remember, but I lost a significant amount of weight. But then the lockdown was called off and life as we know it resumed, and everything just went to shit. So from losing that weight, I was able to maintain it for the rest of that year. But by the next year, 2021, I had gained all that weight back, which now took me back to square one. Okay. So as my 30th birthday approached this year, I decided I was going to invest in my appearance, in my health, in my general well-being. So I started by reducing my portions. So I started eating smaller portions. So I would eat like everything that I regularly eat. I didn't try to diet or stop eating certain foods. I just started eating smaller portions of my regular daily meals. and that seemed to be effective because I now realized that I wasn't getting hungry as much as I used to. Like my appetite kind of suppressed a little, and then I now moved up to adjusting my diet by eliminating the foods that make me feel full, excessively full and tired when I eat them, like bread, white bread. I love bread, but every time I eat bread, I don't feel good. So instead of white bread, I started eating wheat bread, and I don't eat bread as often as I used to. Like before my weight loss journey, before this year, I stopped eating bread frequently. I stopped eating things like shawarma. I used to eat shawarma at least once a week or twice a week, almost every week. So I stopped eating shawarma. I didn't eat shawarma for about 4 months at the beginning of this year. Then I was still eating other things, but like in smaller portions, right? When I turned 25 or so, was it 23 or 25? I can't remember. But around that age, like in my mid-20s, I became lactose intolerant. Yes, I became lactose intolerant. I wasn't always lactose intolerant because when I was younger, I used to consume milk, no issue, right? Then I turned 25, and then it was like my body was changing, everything was changing. I did some mild research on social media. I went through YouTube with stuff like that, and some people suggested that some people have this theory that when you're being spiritually awakened, or when you're experiencing some a level of spiritual awakening, those kind of things can happen. And also it plays a role, it also can be attributed to hormonal changes, you know, so you can become lactose intolerant. Some people are born lactose intolerant, they just don't discover it until a certain age or a certain time in their life. But I wasn't born lactose intolerant, I became lactose intolerant. So I don't know what theory to attribute that to, but that's just my story. So I never used to limit myself to like lactose free foods until this year, when I realized that okay, I'm lactose intolerant. I've known that I'm lactose intolerant for about 5 years, and I realized that consuming lactose was adding to my weight issues because I was almost always bloated because I used to consume dairy products almost on a daily basis. It's either milk or yogurt or some type of dairy or lactose food or lactose content. So then I now started restricting my diet to lactose-free products. And then I started using lactose-free milk and almond milk and things like that. And it really helped because I realized that I was less bloated. I was having more bowel movements. My bowel movements became more frequent, as opposed to before. I could go 3-4 days without any bowel movements, and it became normal to me. But when I stopped consuming lactose and I started my portion control, I started consuming more fiber and protein, I realized that you can actually have bowel movements on a daily basis. Like it became a regular thing for me when I made these changes to my diet. I started drinking more water. I feel like I've been drinking water for some time now. Like I've been a water enthusiast for a few years now, but I didn't really see the benefits until this year. So I think all these other changes that I made contributed greatly to the frequency at which I drink water effective, because I was drinking water, but I was still eating all sorts of trash, and I still had like a terrible relationship with food. So it didn't really help until I changed all these other areas, all these other aspects of my diet and my well-being generally. So diet adjustment, I went lactose free, portion control, water, and then when it was getting closer to my birthday, I decided to, like I said, I wanted to invest in my body in the way that I haven't done before. I wanted to invest in myself in the way that I haven't done before. So I decided to try laser lipo and body contouring. Abico Aesthetics, they had this package. It was 5 treatments in one, laser lipo and body contouring combined. 5 treatments for 140K. I bought that service, and I had 5 sessions of laser lipo and body contouring that was spaced out into about 2 weeks, because it was one session every 3 days, right? Yeah, one session every 3 days. So it ended up about 10 days, I think, 2 weeks roughly. So anyway, that when before I went for the laser lipo and body contouring, um, they took my measurements. They took my measurements for my like basic measurements, bust, waist, and hip measurements. Right? I didn't measure my hip. I don't remember. But I'm a tailor, so I know my measurements. So at that time, my bust measured 39 inches, my waist measured 33 inches, and my hip measured 42 inches, I think. Yeah, 42 inches. Then, when I was done with the laser lipo and body contouring treatment, like the entire 5 sessions, I only lost 1 inch from my waistline. My boobs were pretty much the same measurements, nothing changed. My hip, nothing changed, right? So, but I wasn't discouraged, because in the course of those treatments, I could tell that there were changes. There were changes that were happening within my body. Like I could feel it, because during the sessions, I always feel the need to pee. And sometimes before the end of one session is 1 hour. So imagine that sometimes within the hour, I'll need to pee about 2 or 3 times. Sometimes I pee during the session once, and then after the session. Sometimes I have to pee 2 times during the session, and then I still have to pee after the session. So I could tell that the fat in my body was breaking down and all of that. But I feel like 2 weeks is not a realistic time to see the complete difference, like to see the entire results from that procedure. So, and they explained these things to me, like you're going to keep seeing changes as time goes on. It's not magic. It's not going to just appear at once. You get, like, your body is a biological component. It will take time for you to see those results. Like the breakdown of fat has to flush out of your system, and that takes time. So if you're going to try it, don't feel discouraged if you don't see instant results. I'm telling you, it's worth it, but you have to wait to see the results. And because you do laser lipo and body contouring does not now mean that you now just go back to living your regular life. Remember, I already made all these changes before I went to do laser lipo and body contouring, and I did not stop after doing laser lipo. I still continued, like, with my portion control and all the things that I stopped eating, and I was still eating the food, the things that I now start eating. So I'm going to tell you guys about my diets, like, eventually. So yeah, you still have to keep doing all the right things after you get your body contouring or your laser lipo done. Okay. So I did laser lipo. That was in August. Yeah, I only lost 1 inch of my waistline. No problem. Oh my god. Did France win? These people ruined me today. You guys, I'm so sorry. This is really bad timing for the video. I'm really sorry about this. But anyway, I hope you can hear me. So after laser lipo, I started intermittent fasting. That works wonders. Intermittent fasting works wonders. I watched one TED talk on YouTube, and that was what motivated me to start intermittent fasting, and I can tell you for a fact that I do not regret it. I can actually attribute most of my results to intermittent fasting. Like a greater percentage of my results I can attribute it to intermittent fasting. It has been fantastic. When I started intermittent fasting, it wasn't easy, but then it took me about a week to adjust. Then when I got used to the timing that I set for myself, because you have to set time for yourself and you have to be realistic with your timing. Okay, you don't have to set like high targets for yourself and then start struggling. You can start with like 6 hours fasting, then move it up and just adjust it as you see fit and as you grow. You know, it's not a one-way street, it's not a one-time thing, so definitely take your time with intermittent fasting, but it works wonders. It was like my body did a biological reset. Like, it was crazy. Like, it is crazy. I still practice intermittent fasting till this day. Okay, maybe not every day, because there's some days when I wake up and the first thing I want to do is eat. Now, I don't deny myself of everything just because I'm trying to maintain my results or because I'm trying to see results. That's another thing that will set you back, because it's like if you deny yourself certain things, then you start to crave them. The day if you give into those cravings, it will set you back, because like you overindulge and then you find yourself struggling to get back on track. So don't be too harsh, don't be too strict on yourself. Like, relax, be chill. It's a journey. It's not a race, it's a journey. Like, chill, you know. If you feel like eating cake, eat cake, but if you would eat this much before, maybe eat half. With intermittent fasting, it was like my body did a biological reset. Like, when I started fasting, I realized that because I was trying to stay away from eating for a particular amount of time, I became more responsible with my food options. So now it's like you have time to plan your meal, because you have, let's say, if from when I wake up, if I'm fasting for 12 hours from my last meal from the previous day, and let's say my last meal from the previous day was at 6 p.m. I fast into the next day. Obviously, even if I wake up at 6 a.m., I'm not going to be eating at 6 a.m. So I set my first meal, like timing for my first meal, at between 10 a.m. and 12 noon. Okay, so between 10 a.m. and 12 noon, that's when I know that I'm supposed to have my first meal for the day. You have time to plan your meal. You have time to prepare what you actually want to eat, and you have to also always remember that you are eating for your body. You're not eating for your taste buds. Intermittent fasting is the GOAT. Let's just agree on that. Intermittent fasting is the GOAT of losing weight. Weight loss is GOAT. Next thing I did was focusing my diet. So as someone who has a slower metabolism, I started focusing my diet on fiber-rich foods and protein, because I digest protein faster than I digest carbohydrates. Now, the work that you have to do, even though you're not working out, there's still work to do. And the work that you have to do is to learn about your body type, learn about your metabolism, learn about like the food that makes you feel good, the foods that your body can digest simply and faster. So for me, fiber and protein, I digest fiber and protein easily. So I started focusing my diet on fiber and protein. I used to always use laxatives, because who wants to go 4 days without a bowel movement? Come on. Then I look puffy and I'm puffed up and like Big Daddy. Those days are gone anyway, because I know better now and I'm doing better for myself and for my body. I want to throw in here other things that you can do to lose weight without working out, which is like you can, number one is you can cook your regular meals in a healthy way, right? So if you like rice and stew, you can still eat your rice and stew. But instead of your regular starchy rice, maybe opt for basmati rice. It's healthier. And if you're going to fry your stew, I like to fry my stew. You can use like sunflower oil, soya bean oil, basically cholesterol-free oil instead of your regular vegetable oil. Okay. Secondly, another thing that I think has contributed to my weight loss, which I also want to throw in here, is eating less salt. So in case you don't know, salt, because of the sodium content in salt, salt tends to retain water in your body. So that gives you water weight. It can make you look puffy even when you're not like bloated or anything. So you can, if you eat too much salt, or you consume salt frequently, it can retain water in your body. Salt can do that to you. So if I'm not saying don't eat salt at all. So for me, I don't use regular salt anymore. I use the Himalayan pink salt. It's healthier, it's tastier, it's just better. Okay. Eat lean meat. Eat lean meat and more fish. What is lean meat? Chicken, turkey. Goat meat is healthier than beef. So I prefer goat meat to beef. I hardly eat beef. I would rather eat ram meat than eat beef. And then fish. I eat fish more often, like especially if I'm eating out, I'll opt for fish because in my house I hardly cook fish. I love chicken and turkey and ram and goat meat. I love meat, but I would eat fish when I go out. So if I'm eating out, I'll probably have a salmon as opposed to having chicken. So that's another tip that you might want to try. And then eat more fruits and vegetables. Especially if you're a sweet tooth, you want to eat more fruit. Eating a pineapple, even though it's sweet, is still a healthier option compared to eating a candy. Because in candy, it's not just sugar. You have flavor, you have food coloring, you have all those sorts of things. Fruits are natural. They are generally better options than any other thing that is available in the world. I don't know what I'm saying at this point, but I'm just saying eat more fruits and vegetables. Fill up on vegetables. If you're going to have a big meal, make sure that a larger serving of your meal is vegetables. So it can be a vegetable salad, it can be some stir-fried vegetables, it can be some steamed vegetables. Try and incorporate vegetables in your meals as often as possible. If you're going to have noodles, throw in some vegetables, carrots, you know the family of vegetables that you can use for certain foods. Throw them in there. You can even add cabbage to your noodles, to your spaghetti, to your rice. Eggs, when you're eating eggs, you can add vegetables to your eggs. And then you want to eat yogurt and nuts. Fruits, what do you call them? Dried fruits and nuts are another well-kept secret that you should know. So at this point, I'm going to tell you guys why I decided to lose weight. Okay, so I became overweight in the year of the pandemic. I realized that I had become overweight because I was struggling to breathe, even though I already had an underlying respiratory disorder that made it difficult for me to breathe sometimes. I've had that for years. Yeah, I've had that for years. I've had that for maybe 7 or 8 years now. Yes, so anyway, I've been managing it, but then I became overweight and it was like 3 times more intense than it had ever been. So naturally, I knew that it was time to work on myself. I had to shed some weight. I also I was getting older, and you know how what they say, like the older you get, you start to look like, I didn't want to look like my age, because number one, I don't have kids. Apart from my health reason, I also did not like my appearance, and I wanted to change that. So that's another reason why I wanted to lose weight. It wasn't because of being body shamed or because of anybody's any external interference. No, it was all for me. Like, I wanted to do it for myself. So I have an image of what I want my life to be like, of how I want to look as I get older, at a certain, like, you know how you want your life to be. Like, you have an image, you have plans for yourself. So based on those plans, based on those things that I want to achieve for myself, that's how I make my life decisions. Like, for instance, I have a clothing line, which is where this dress is from. So I have a clothing line, and I want to be able to wear my own clothes and feel confident in them, so that other people will want to wear them as well. Like, I want to sell confidence in my clothes. You have to look good for that. You can't just look just any kind of way, or at least you have to feel good. I have to feel good to be able to sell confidence to anybody. I'm confident regardless of my size or my weight, but I want to feel good while being confident, so that it can rub off. So yeah, those are my reasons for why I decided to take this journey, and it has been productive. It has been kind of life-changing, because I've learned a lot of things about myself via this journey. I've also come to know that, like, I can really do whatever I set my mind to do. That's what I've learned from this whole experience. Because initially, last year, when I started trying to lose this weight, I remember asking for help. I asked my friends to help me be accountable, and none of them could. Nobody was able to give me the kind of support that I thought I needed. And then this year, when I started seeing results by doing all of this by myself and for myself, I realized that I actually did not need anybody's help. Why I felt like I needed help from people, like why I felt like I needed to be accountable to other people to achieve my goal, is because I wasn't ready. I actually wasn't ready then. Like, I wasn't ready. I feel like maybe the reason why I wanted to lose weight then, it wasn't personal enough, right? It was not personal. Maybe it was for external. Maybe then I was doing it for external validation. But once I found, like, my real reason why I wanted to do this, go on this journey and be successful in it, once I found that reason, I didn't need any help. I just woke up one day and I was like a new person. Like, I did not even notice that I was making progress until my clothes started falling off my body. Like, this dress, I wanted to wear this dress last Sunday, but I couldn't wear it because it was too big. It wasn't fitting, like, it didn't fit. I only just took this in. Like, I had to shape it yesterday. I had to reduce it yesterday. That's why I'm wearing it today. I wanted to wear this last week Sunday. I couldn't. So I just woke up one day and my bras were not fitting anymore. My jeans are all of a sudden so loose. Like that thumbnail, see that jean in that thumbnail is crazy. I can't wear that jean right now. I can't wear it. Even with the belt, I can't wear it. I look homeless in those jeans. I can't wear it. So a lot of my clothes now I can't fit into anymore. Meanwhile, there are others that I fit into perfectly now. Like, it feels so good to be able to wear those clothes, and I just feel great generally. I feel awesome. I wake up every day, I'm happy, I feel lighter. When I see myself in the mirror, it just feels so good. And it's more rewarding. Like, the feeling achieving this is more rewarding because I did it in a way that did not make me feel bad for myself. Like how I was struggling with working out before, and at the end of the workout, I'll be in the shower and I'll be crying, like, God, why do I have to go through this? I used to cry, legit. I used to cry in the shower, and just ask God questions like, why me? Like, there are people that don't have to go through this. Why me? Why do I have to go through this? But then I looked inward and I found a solution because I really wanted to do this. Like, that's why I said find your reason why. Let it not be for external validation, because you won't go far in this journey if you're doing it for external validation. It's more of a mental race than a physical race. It's more mental than physical. It's going to reflect physically, but the impact is even greater mentally. Like, your confidence, your level of confidence is going to soar. You'll be so much more confident. You'll be so happy. You'll just feel fulfilled generally, knowing that you're able to take on this challenge and do it for yourself. So I hope by now you've found your reason why, and I believe that with that reason you can achieve what I've been able to achieve with just these simple basic steps. So I'm wishing you all the best in your journey as you begin, and I want you to, if you can, keep a journal. I did not keep a journal. I have a journal, but I realized that I don't like to write in my journal. I like to keep things in here. So, but once in a while, I still take my time to write things down in my journal, like when I'm feeling very good about something, or when I'm just in a very good place, or sometimes when I'm even in a not so good place. I remember my journal and I just go and write in my journal. But if you can't keep a journal, it's going to help. And most importantly, I want you to know that how you are right now, there's nothing wrong with you, right? There's nothing wrong with how you look right now, except for the fact that you probably don't look your best, or how you want to look, or what you think the best look for you is. It's like having a car but you want a better car. There's nothing wrong with wanting better, but you also have to know that there's nothing wrong with where you are right now. It might not be a good place, but that doesn't make you any less of who you truly are, because the truth is, who you are is innate, it's inside. It has nothing to do with your physical appearance. This body is only a vessel, it's a container, but we need it to be in good shape so that we can freely express who we really are inside. And that should be your purpose for wanting to look better and be better for yourself. Okay, with these ramblings of mine, I hope I've been able to encourage you to take on a challenge of losing weight or living better for yourself. And also, I hope that I've been able to convince you that you can eat for your body. You don't have to work out for it. That people don't have the time, so people don't like it, or they simply are not cut out for physical exercise or physical activities, which is completely fine. There's nothing wrong with you. I'm just here to tell you that you have options, and these are the options that I've laid before you. So if you found this video useful in any way, or if you just couldn't stop looking at my hair or admiring my looks, which is also welcome, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It will help my channel grow. I'm really trying to grow on this platform because I feel like I was cut out for this. Like, I like doing this. I like just sitting here and just talking. I've been talking for almost 1 hour now. It probably not end up being a 1 hour video, but I'm telling you that I've been here for an hour just talking. I really love it. I enjoy it. It makes me feel good. So support your girl. Like this video, subscribe, and if you have any questions or you're not clear on anything that I said, please feel free to leave a comment. I will reply, or you can use any of my social media handles to send me a direct message, and I'll definitely reply, and I'll be willing to offer any clarity that you need to the best of my knowledge. So hopefully I'll see you in my next video, but before then, stay cute and take care of your darling selves. Bye.